We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PeakFlow Power Hour number 13. I'm super excited because Christmas was just 2 days ago. We're off the holidays and it's kind of back to the good old days, just grinding it out with business and also kind of enjoying life. But there's also 4 days left of the year. So let me know what you guys are planning for 2025, what your New Year resolutions are. I'm super curious to see is your goals to hit 10K a month profit with ecom? What are your goals with fitness? What are your goals with relationships? Let us know down in the comment section below. But again, my name is Trevor Zheng, and I have my business partner Marcus Lamb on the show today. Say what's up.
What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having an amazing Friday. Yo, let's fucking get it.
How's your Friday so far? I know we first time chatting this morning.
Well, thanks for asking, Trevor. Pretty hectic Friday morning. Because we have a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Winter arc. If you know, you know. So just making sure everything is set up properly. Errands, personal life, business, all at once. But if there's one thing I know about me and you, we show up, which is why I'm here on this live. I'll be honest, bro. It's hard to stay disciplined every single week, but we've been doing it. I think we missed 1 week, but we've been pretty consistent every Friday, and I'm planning to keep staying consistent. FYI.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. And that week, honestly, we just both forgot. We were just busy doing
That was
things.
the funniest one. We were just like, oh,
Oh, did we
we
forget
told.
something? Awesome. So let me share my screen and pull it up. So again, we are part of PeakFlow Academy. Our mission statement is to pioneer education through high-ticket dropshipping. So if you are brand new to business or e-commerce in general, we are here to help you reach $10,000 a month profit with e-commerce. So if you have any questions at all, let us know. We are here to help you. Even if you are brand new to business, never started or sold anything online, we are the guys to help you, learn about business, entrepreneurship, and brotherhood as a whole. So with that being said, let's jump onto a quick about us. So I'll go first this week. So my name is Trevor Zhang. I'm 21 years old, and I started e-commerce very early on. The first time I was exposed to e-commerce was really from a YouTube ad. I don't remember who it was, but they had their phone out with the Shopify app open, and the Shopify app looked so weird now looking back. It was like the blue background. If you know, you know, with the blue background with the Shopify results, and he was just like at an infinity pool and just showing off the results. So that was when I first got exposed to e-commerce, was that YouTube ad. And ever since, I really just love the business model. It's like you don't ever have to see, touch, or film videos for the products if you don't even want to, and you could sell products online. So my first experience with e-commerce started just like selling things on eBay. If you guys remember fidget spinners, that's a throwback.
LOL.
Fidget spinners were huge, and I was in middle school, I think like eighth grade, when they were huge, and I started dropshipping them from AliExpress onto eBay. So that was my first few sales online, and then I got into marketplace dropshipping on Facebook, and then eventually I found a business model called high ticket dropshipping. And that is a business model that me and Marcus both do to this date. I believe Marcus did it or started that in 2020. So like during the big
Mm-hmm.
boom in sales during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and with high ticket dropshipping, it completely changed our lives. We'll go into Marcus's story right in a little bit. But with that being said, I am from Michigan. So if you are also from this state, let me know, and feel free to let's link up and just chat business and see where it goes. So if there's one thing you should take away from this is that I failed so many business models. This is just 5 or 4 out of the 10, 20 plus business models that I tried. And it doesn't matter if you try 10, 20, 30 business models. All it takes is just one to change the trajectory of everything. All it takes is just one. And the more times or more consistent that you try something, the more lucky you are for it to succeed. So that is my quick story. So on to Marcus now about your story. What's your story, Marcus?
Thanks, Trevor. That was an amazing story on your end. For me, Trevor's right. During 2020, I caught the boom with e-com sales, but it wasn't with high ticket. It was actually with mid ticket. But that's what got me introduced into high ticket. I don't know if you would consider $500 high ticket or not, but I was selling these patio heaters, and during the time, outdoor dining was exploding, and then business owners, everyone needed it, and they were just splurging. So I caught on onto sales like that, and then that's how I got introduced to the whole high ticket space, and I really haven't looked back ever since. I I don't think I tried as many business models as Trevor. I I guess I would just call myself as like a reseller at its purest form. Like I just start finding shoes to resell. Then I found products from AliExpress. Then I did eBay. And now I'm doing high ticket, and which I see as the ultimate form of reselling. So that's where I'm at right now. And together, me and Trevor are here to change the world by pioneering education through high ticket dropshipping. So I'm from New York. If you guys ever want to connect on those like Shopify events, New York City events, you could just hit me up and we'll link up. But yeah, thanks, Trev.
Amazing story. I kind of want to, I'm curious when you were going through, low ticket dropshipping, um, how did you discover high ticket dropshipping for those that are like brand new to, hearing your story?
That's a great question. When Thank you, Murat. I remember scaling this AliExpress portable air conditioner, and then I was making money, and then I was also selling the patio heater. But the problem was the eBay suppliers, like the suppliers were just giving me such a headache. So all I did was I went on YouTube and I searched how to dropship from USA or like how to
Mm.
find suppliers in USA, and then that's where these guys, I don't know if I should say their names, so I'll say the HMM. If you know HMM. They were like the high ticket drop shipping, like one of the people's there. And I saw the video, and they were from like in New York also. So I was like, oh shit, like they're like my age, and they're drop shipping, but more expensive than me and using a different model. Like, what is this? And that's how I got introduced.
Awesome.
How about you?
That's a good question. I found out about high ticket dropshipping from a podcast.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think I was recommended it. It was from a Spencer Cornelius. I don't know if you know who he is,
Who
but
is that?
he does like videos on like exposing gurus and things like that, like influencers and things like that. And it was like a podcast about two guys that like were doing it legitimately, high ticket dropshipping. And
Mm,
I just heard about the podcast, just made a lot of sense. Honestly, it's just like why drop ship Chinese products when you can drop ship American products, higher quality, faster shipping, more margins. It's like logically
makes
speaking,
sense. It makes sense.
it made sense. So that's
100%.
why I took the leap of faith and bought a course and then got started.
Cool.
But yeah, we actually have some Instagram messages, but it's just not showing on our StreamYard, so I'll read them out.
Oh, really?
So Alexander says, "My shopping ads are performing weird. What should I do?" So Alexander, if you could elaborate a little bit on more of like what is weird about it? Like, is it spending less, or is it, you know, it's probably just spending less, probably because of the Christmas season. Our ads are spending less because less people are shopping online because they already did all their shopping ahead of time. at this time of the year, people are actually, I don't know if I should use the B word, they don't have money. people people don't
That's
have money
funny.
because they spent so much money on like gifts. Well, to be fair, it's the Christmas season,
Fair.
so
Yeah.
he's they're kind of dry on cash until a couple weeks later. Then they get their paychecks and then they're back to normal. So that's probably why your shopping ads are performing weird. And another question is, it says, I got a question when it comes to Google Shopping. How come sometimes in the product listing ads, it's bombarded with products that aren't even associated with the actual product? Why does Google do that now?
That's a good
So
question.
that's also a very good question. How Google Shopping works is it will combine listings together where it deems that it is the same product. I haven't seen where it like combines two unrelated products. I'm not sure. So, Barat says set automatic updates off. Maybe not sure what that is exactly. But to answer his question, yeah, sometimes the products I haven't seen products being like combined together that are unrelated. So that's I haven't seen that happen before. But if it is, then Google just deems that they're the same product. There's really not much you can do about it except making sure your product feed is correct and the products that you are selling is all up to date with the SKU, with the manufacturer, with the UPCs, and things like that. Yep. So that answers the question. Murat says sometimes there is products that updates the store, but it's about the feed. That's correct. Yes. Google Shopping is 80% of the time, or primarily all about the feed. If your feed is bad, that will impact your shopping performance.
How does one have a good feed, Trevor? How do you get a good feed?
You have to join our school community. Shameless plug, you have to join our school community where we show you how to actually have your products uh, optimized correctly. So it's going to be vendor, product name, SKU in the title, and then in your description, you want to be as descriptive as possible. Use features, use bullet points, use charts, lay out your warranty, put your UBC in the listing, put your SKU in the listing. Just fill out the product on Shopify as much as possible. And then for your product category, that's also very important because if you're selling a plant, for example, and in the product category says furniture, well, the plant is not a furniture. You need to change that product category to match what product you're selling. So those small things inside the feed can make or break what shows for your products. Murat says, I am planning to do your school courses, but I've been focusing on SMMA. What do you think about this, Marcus?
What the fuck? That's that's a pointed finger, Trevor. What do I think about this? I think
I can go first if you like.
go first. You go first.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what business model you pick. It could be SMMA, it could be ecom, it could be anything you want. Just that you are consistent enough that you don't quit it and you see success with it. For us, it has been ecom. I have tried SMMA in the past, but I only signed one client and they just left me after the first month. Uh, but yeah,
What did they have you try to do? Like when you had the client, like what do they make you
I,
do? Is it anything
I
they
was
need?
selling Facebook ads.
So you just run their Facebook ads?
Yeah, but the thing is, at that point, I never ran a single dollar in Facebook ads,
That's so funny.
and that's why I think it's the SMMA space is so, you know, saturated, if you can even say that. It's because like there are people, anyone can start SMMA. It's just selling a service, And then you have kids that are promoting Facebook ads or promoting SEO when they never done SEO or Facebook ads in their life. And all they're doing is drop servicing it from another freelancer on Fiverr.
Oh, is that how it is?
That was how I was taught in the course. Like it's like you can sell Facebook ads even if you don't know how to run it. You just need to sell it, and then you just find some freelancer to do the work for you.
I guess you're still bringing value to the marketplace, right? Like, would you say that's value?
It's like packaging a freelancer's offer into a shiny object for someone to buy.
Ah, I guess that's business. If you could pull it off, then all kudos to you, I guess.
I think a lot of people might start with that, but eventually they learn more about it. Um, but looking back, it was like such a weird phenomenon. Like pitching Facebook ads when you never ran Facebook ads before. I don't know how I was able to do it.
Wait,
It's
so why?
probably because of the fact that the other guy didn't know what I was like referring to either way, so it didn't really matter if I had the knowledge about Facebook ads or not.
What's like the staircase hierarchy with SMMA? Like, you know how dropshipping you go from like low ticket AliExpress to like private label branding, high ticket. What's it like with SMMA? Or do you know?
Yeah, like services that you sell.
Yeah, like how does that chain of leveling up go? Like,
Yeah, so it really just depends on. I think it just depends on your service, like the package size.
oh,
So instead of charging, 1K a month, 2K a month, you might have some clients where you charge 10K a month plus like a retainer plus like a performance, amount. And this is
mm,
why there's so many agencies out there that don't deliver on their promises or their performance, and business owners get burned. They waste their time, money, and this makes a bad experience overall. But there are good agencies out there, but it's
but it's
hard to
also
really.
bad, basically. I
Yeah,
understand.
when the barrier entry is so low, because like I can start agency in the next 5 minutes if I wanted to. I just need a template website, a domain, Instagram account, and boom, I'm just starting outreaching. The barrier entry is so low that it creates a lot of, you know, not competition if you're good, but it just saturates the marketplace.
Hmm. Shout out Sam.
Sam's on her third merchant center account. Third time's a charm, right?
Stay persistent, Sam. And I love to hear your thoughts on this too, Trev. When I was going through Merchant Center, they said that it'd be good to have like clicks coming in as well, like when the algorithm scans. Would it be considerable to like do Bing ads and run a little of that to get traffic on and just have that make it look like a regular site and then, because if you get banned too many times, you might get fucking blacklisted.
Uh, I haven't heard anything from Google stating that, but it does make a lot of sense
Mm,
because a site that's brand new versus a site that has traffic already, Google would much rather favor the site that has traffic already.
mm.
So I would do Bing, Pinterest, and filming content to see if you can get some traffic to your site.
Just a thought. Yeah. Nice.
Hmm. Yeah. So Corey says, "What's the biggest mistake that you see beginners make?" So I'm assuming this is referring to high ticket ecom. I would say I'll go first. I would say the biggest mistake people make is not just related to this business in general. It's just overthinking.
What do you mean by
For
that?
example, like picking a niche. Yes, there are so many niche ideas out there, but people spend sometimes weeks to months just to pick a niche. And they think there is a perfect one even though there isn't. Because any niche can work. It's just adding your twist to it.
Mm.
That's what I see is the biggest mistake. How about you?
For me, I actually didn't think of high ticket. I was just thinking of like a business mindset perspective. I think the biggest mistake beginners make is not having the right people around them. Because if you don't have the right community around you, then you can get discouraged or you might feel a little, hopeless. and then you might start a little bit, and then you end up falling short because you didn't have the right support system. And then if you try to go to them and you have the wrong community, they might end up telling you like, yeah, bro, this shit's not gonna work out, or like you're not about it, and you might really believe them. So I think it's kind of like recognizing what you want in this life, and then finding the people that have the same goals as you and surround yourself with them. So that's why we start the PeakFlow community. We already have 4,000 members already and counting. Every single day, me and Trevor, we check up on it, make sure everyone, like we just building a community of brotherhood and self-excellence. So that was the mistake that I saw a lot of people making, and that's why, we came and built a brand to solve it.
That's honestly great to hear. Like,
Thanks, bro.
I kind of didn't think about that. That's very true. Like, having the community really helps because if you're doing it alone versus with people that you're on the same journey with, you will go so much further. Like the quote
Yeah.
that I like to reference, like, if you want to go fast, go
Yeah.
alone, but if you want to go far, go together.
Yeah. I want to top on one more quote on top of that as well, which
Yeah, go
is
ahead.
pain feels better when you go through it together. So even when you work out, you go to the gym, if you're doing it with your boys or girls, like, you doing it together, like pain feels it's more bearable, So
Is it because you kind of spread that out?
it's because we all suffering, so it makes the suffering
Yeah.
feel less.
Oh, he's suffering. I'm suffering. It's okay.
Yeah. It becomes like a game. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Marat says most of the clients are the people you know. It start off with that with me. I think it's referring to SMMA. Okay, interesting. Alex says, are Bing ads cheaper / more effective for B2B? I have my gym equipment store on pause and want to relaunch as we head into New Year's by focusing on B2B. I would say focusing on just B2B is not what you want to focus on. I've known Alex for a while now, and with his gym equipment store that he just said, his main problem is that he's just always pausing and unpausing things and not sticking to a strategy, I would say. And I want to give you brutally honest feedback so you can improve. That way you can, hopefully see sales and, change the trajectory of your store. Because Alex has been having a store for a few years now. So I think with his gym equipment store, the main problem that he is facing is lack of ad spend, going to the incorrect campaigns, brands, and also pairing that up with no clear sales system on the store. Like if leads are coming in and he's not answering them or not calling about checkouts, then the sales are slipping through the cracks. So, I mean, you should run Bing ads either way because the clicks are cheaper. They may or may not be more effective for B2B because I guess more companies have Bing as a default browser. So Mohammed says, we would like to explore some collaboration opportunities with you. Okay, sounds good. I mean, send us an email at support@peakflowcommunity.com with your pitch, and we'll take a look. Marat says, I started my dropshipping site in 2020 and got sued straight away. How do you choose the right Google Ads products that work? This is an interesting one. I've
That's
not
math.
heard people getting sued unless he was selling something that he wasn't supposed to be. I've never heard that before. Hope you had an LLC to protect you, because if you didn't, I know with a lot of people, they start dropshipping stores because the barrier entry is so low with low ticket. They don't even set up an LLC and just start selling on Shopify. So hopefully you had an LLC to protect you. But how do you choose the right Google Ads products that work? Well, we kind of find a niche instead of a single product. So think of, for example, gym equipment. You would sell, pull-up bars, bench press machines, treadmills, anything that has to do with gym equipment. And how you verify those products will do well is really four criterias. Number one, product price over $1,000 because we want to sell high ticket products. Number two, not seasonal. So we're not seeing inconsistent sales throughout the year. So gym equipment might seem seasonal on paper because there's always an uptick in sales during like the December, January season because that's when people are setting New Year resolutions and they want to, buy the gym equipment, get in shape, and then the trend kind of dies off around February. That's not really considered seasonal. And then number three is going to be search demand over 20,000. And then number four is going to be lots of suppliers. So plenty of suppliers. You want to aim for at least 10 plus suppliers in your niche that you can find. So hopefully that answered your question, Murat. And C's question says, after resolving a payment suspension with advertiser verification, my LLC or my account was suspended after when creating a campaign. Will using my home country's billing info cause issues? I'm a foreigner. After resolving payment suspension. So for advertiser verification, as long as you submit your business information, your LLC, everything else that you submit to it should relate to your LLC. Unless your billing info is in another country and that card is tied with another country, you should be only submitting your US LLC's card information. And then we have Corey with a question that says, do you think high ticket dropshipping can be done while using just AliExpress? Or should you fight with top suppliers?
You want me to go? I'll go first.
I'll let you answer this.
So here's the thing. I've thought about trying to dropship from like Alibaba, like one of like those home domes, like 5-10 bands. But then the problem that I saw was like, how do you get the sale first, right? Because our model, the way we do the advertising is we start on the bottom funnel, middle funnel into the top. I feel like if you take it from AliExpress, Alibaba, you find like $10,000 item. You're just first starting off to sell it. You're pretty much going all broad, cold. So, okay, let's say you go through with that. But then afterwards, like the product has no brand. It's just how you're going to logistically get it. And shipping is going to be, and then at scale, like that's a lot to think about. So that's where my head went with that. And you?
Yeah, I agree. I've also thought the same thing. Why not you just use AliExpress? Because it's easy. Well, it comes down to barrier entry again. If everyone has access to your same suppliers, then everyone else can just copy your business overnight. And for me, that was one of the biggest mistakes or like challenges I faced with low ticket dropshipping. Is people can copy your business just overnight. Everyone has access to AliExpress. People across the world from you. There's 8 billion plus people in the world. They have access to the same suppliers that you do. And if you're doing well, they're going to be copying you ASAP. So you need to be going with top tier suppliers where they're exclusive, not working with a ton of dealers, so you can actually compete in having a long lasting business. Sam says, thanks, that makes a lot of sense. Next week, I have a call with Pinterest ads specialists, and I'll also be rolling out our first YouTube video.
Congrats. Keep going.
Pinterest ad specialists. If it's anything similar to like Google ad specialists or Bing ad specialists, they're going to be wasting your time. But we'll see.
I'll give you a little background on Sam because I actually told her to do it, but it's because she didn't get her Pinterest profile verified. So when I was trying to get it verified, they're so annoying with it. So getting set up with the specialists so that you could tell them to like, yo, could you like because you can't run ads if your account isn't verified. So they need to verify. It's in their best interest. So just FYI. Yeah.
Okay,
So just
that
keep going,
makes all
Sam.
sense.
Keep going, Sam. Yeah. You got it.
And the first YouTube video, that's exciting. The first one is always the hardest one. After that, just repetition. You start getting better, and you just keep improving. That's
You've
awesome.
actually came a very far way, Trevor.
Yeah,
With
just
video.
yeah, even in just like the last 3 to 6 months.
Same.
Christian says, can you both give your take on cutting the check for speed? Do you agree with the statement? Do you agree with this statement?
Yo, honestly, bro, I don't know what that means, bro. Like, I'm on the spot right now. I'm on live. I don't know what that means.
It's
All
okay.
right,
Like I was also feeling the same. Like cutting the check for speed, meaning like honestly,
I'm taking it as, am I willing to sacrifice money for speed, right? You're cutting the check.
I was thinking like not checking for speed.
Yeah, so my think is like, let's say if I have to go from like one place to another, am I taking the battery tunnel? Okay, so FYI, Trevor. So like in New York, if I'm trying to go from like Brooklyn to Manhattan or Manhattan to Brooklyn, you could take the bridge, which is free. But sometimes you could, if you in a hurry, you gotta pay for the tunnel, but that's faster. Are you gonna cut the check for speed? Yes. I take the battery tunnel every time, bro. Every time. Because the bridge is packed. I don't know.
Oh, he says like mentorship. I can help like mentorship. Oh, like what's your take on like paying to get ahead? That's what he's saying. Do you agree with the statement that you should always be paying for information to move yourself forward? Yeah, that's what he's saying in terms of like mentorship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, don't want to be. I want to give like you guys both sides of the equation. It's not for everyone. It just depends on yourself. Are you that person that thinks you can do it yourself, or are you a person where, you overthink, and that's completely fine because we were all in the same position as you. We overthink everything, the logo, the design, and just slows us down. That's very, very normal. There's nothing wrong with that. But it just really depends on, do you think it will help you get there faster, or will you think that you could do it yourself, or you want to try it yourself first and then see how far you can get with it? So it just depends. It's not for everyone, but I would say for a majority of people, it really does help proceed them faster in their journey.
And I was just gonna say, for me, I used to be very like full of myself, and I'm sure I still am. So I actually looked at mentors as like, that shit's a scam, and you don't really need one. Until I was like down bad, and I kind of like was like on my last capital, like starting capital, and then I invested into QnAs, and like he changed my life. And ever since then, I realized that like, dude, if you could find someone that's like just a few levels ahead of you, not like crazy beyond, not like a Patrick McDavid when you're like freaking first starting out, but like someone like a level or two above, dude, they paved the way, bro, because they do all the stuff that you needed to do. So I say like,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think that's a very good point that you just said right there. It's
yeah.
like when you are comparing mentors, like, yes, you could get mentored by Elon Musk, but if you had that money to pay for it, but like he's at a different stage of his life where like his advice may just be too high level for you to understand.
Mm.
And I think it's good to find people that are not so many steps ahead of you at the time, and just a few steps like you just explained. So that way you can catch up to them, more actionable steps that you could take, I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a good point you just said.
Thank you, bro.
Milo says, "Yo
Hey,
guys, how was your day? Merry Christmas."
Merry Christmas to you too, brother.
Milo seems like a super cool person with a dinosaur avatar. Rats is interesting. Yes. Martin says, dealing with GMC suspension misrepresentation. Any advice? Yes, lots of advice. um, so there's a lot of things that you want to check off. From memory, you want to make sure that your contact information matches from your site to Shopify and GMC. You want to make sure there's no bold claims. So, for example, free shipping in all caps, remove the all caps, remove any claims that you think that it's just too bold. For example, price match guarantee or um, anything that has to do with a claim that you may not be able to fulfill, like 24/7 customer service. That's very unrealistic. You're human. You can't be on the computer 24/7, even though you would like to think you are. Things like
Oh,
that. And then just making sure your images, they're not all weird dimensions, making sure phone numbers clickable, making sure the policy pages, like they're not copy pasted from a template, make sure you reword it, things like that. We have a whole checklist inside of PeakFlow Academy that's very at a very affordable price, where you can go through a GMC checklist and make sure that you are hitting all the things that from Google's end is triggering the suspension. So Balance Entertainment says, how can new high ticket dropshippers like us build credibility with suppliers beyond calls and emails? This is a really good question.
sorry.
Very good. Well, obviously, in the beginning, you have no credibility, and see if you can leverage any credibility. Your past business experience, if you have any, your personal experience, your personal hobbies, things like that. That's always good to add to the calls and emails. But everyone starts with zero. Everyone's a nobody at the beginning, and you kind of have to build that up, especially with suppliers. You can't be expecting to close the best suppliers right off the bat. You have to work with the lower tier suppliers, get some sales with them, show that you can actually make sales with them, and then you work your way up. It is a slow and steady process, but it also creates barrier of entry again. Because if everyone can sell the gold tier supplier, which is the best in the industry, then the barrier entry is so low. Versus if you had to wait 2 years or 3 years to close that supplier, and then now you're the only few dealers that can sell that, then anyone else starting a business has to at least invest 3 years in before they can close that supplier. So barrier entry in any business is good. But yeah, you just build credibility over time. Everyone starts with zero credibility. But see if you can leverage any other business experience or anything else related to your personal life. So Corey says, how do you get an exclusive high-tech supplier to work with you if you're new and you can't bring massive sales to them immediately? This kind of has to do with the last question, but credibility you have to build over time, and same with trust. You build trust over time. You can't expect someone to trust you with everything right off the bat. So if you're new, you have to build that over time, and that's working with the lower tier suppliers on paper, getting sales with them, going above and beyond, showing that you're not just another one of those dealers. You're gonna put your face out there. You're gonna get on camera. You're gonna make videos. You're going to market their brand and grow their brand.
Can I add one thing in, Trevor?
Yeah, of course.
One really easy way for you to stand out and uh, show yourself as like the authority, even if you're new, is two things that you could apply immediately. Number one, is going to be the depth of your voice. When you're speaking with suppliers, oftentimes people speak, and the only thing they're going to hear from you is going to be the voice. Sorry. So there's always going to so voice. Basically, when they're listening to you, you have to have a certain level of certainty to your voice. So I would practice that. And then the second thing is, if you want to stand out against other people, all you need to do is just know their product line. Like, I think that's essentially, like, if you could literally just get on the call and, like, you know their product catalog better than they do, holy crap, like, you are an invaluable asset. Like, even, I'll be honest, like, right now, I don't want to show you guys, but, like, I'll go like this. I'm studying, like, my product catalogs for my suppliers, and, like, I'm literally going through their catalogs of why they're here, what makes them stand out. So, like, if I could speak their language, you know, it's a very simple way to kind of get what you want out of it. It's very similar to, like, if you go to an interview, and you want to best prepare, it's not necessarily like the question you have to answer. You just want to study the interviewer. Like, you want to get onto interviewer's good side. And the way you do that is by, like, you have to speak their language. So how do you speak the supplier's language if you know their product catalog better than them? Stuff like that is going to, boom, is going to help a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's honestly a really solid point. Thank you for sharing. Like, I didn't even really think about that. Knowing the products ahead of time shows that you're not just another one of those dealers that wants to open up an account with them.
Yeah. That's usually what I do sometimes. Like, and then you know a product, and then you speak about the competitors as well. It's like, oh, you know, like, Blaze Grill does this too. We do it for them. So it's all of that come into play.
Yeah, I think it's all about positioning. Even if
Yeah.
you're brand new, if you can position yourself or frame yourself in a way that you're an expert or in your industry, then it makes your chances of closing the higher tier suppliers off the bat a lot higher.
Well said.
And there's still some luck to it. Business,
Mhm.
I don't believe there's no luck in business, because some people get lucky and some people don't. But the more consistent, more times that you try, the more lucky you are. So that's why, like, some suppliers might just be opening up their dealer program, and you just happen to, call at the
Yeah.
right time, and then you just close them. And then someone else 6 months later, they call and, like, oh nope, we're not taking any more dealers, even though they've been in the game longer. So
Yeah.
some luck involved, but just consistency is the main thing. C says, I created a new GMC after deleting the old one, completed the verification, and waited 14 plus days, but my products still don't appear in the shopping free listings. What could be the issue?
I created a new
This might sound silly, but make sure you actually enabled the free shopping listings.
Oh, on the
And
Merchant Center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually had that. I did that before.
Yeah, make sure you actually enable it, because there's actually a button to enable free listings. But if it's not working, it has to do with your feed or your account being suspended.
Do you do dynamic retargeting too? Is that still there?
Yeah, it is. That's for Google display ads. So Sam says, if someone applied for mentorship with suspended account, you automatically say no. Do you think a mentorship would be a good option for us? Do you do payment plans? This is a good question. Marcus, do you have any thoughts on this?
Listen, Sam, we could talk more about these probably on, like, a separate call, just because, we are on public and stuff, but we got you. So obviously, if we try to make something work, like, we'll make something work. But in terms of, if you're ready for it, we bring it on. I'm just letting you know. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I just saw Instagram comments. Neil says, "Big fan, sir," and then just the salute email.
Neil, Nafis. Thanks, Nafis.
Balance Entertainment says we've created a polished demo website to show our commitment, but what other strategies would you recommend to stand out and build trust? A demo website is a good start, but other commitments would really just be content in any way possible, like having an Instagram following, YouTube page with videos, LinkedIn, you're on news facets, you have blogs, just you are on the internet on multiple social channels. That's how you would you know that's how I would answer the question. Do you
Yeah,
have
having
anything to
social
add?
media channels is like gonna give you that big competitive advantage. I agree.
Solid, solid. Do you cut a store sales for payment? we'll, we'll chat about this.
Okay.
Guys, reminder about the order that the supplier hasn't shipped yet. An order has been shipped. After
Ah,
everything was okay, the customer requested a refund and ended up getting scammed for 300
yeah,
euros.
hate to
Or
see it.
what happened with the? How'd you get scammed?
Because the supplier didn't ship his order, bro.
Yeah, but
It's
it
been the
says the
same thing every week.
uh customer requests a refund. So I guess they requested a chargeback. If it's a chargeback, you have the shipping confirmation. Use that in your chargeback response. Use ChatGPT to craft up a response as well, because anything with banks or governments, you usually want to sound very professional, kind of add like fluff to it, in a way, um, and just explain to them what happened in your situation. That's really all you can do in this situation to hopefully win the 300 euros back. Yes, it's enabled. I'm curious about the recent wins on your group. Are they mostly from people based in the US, or has anyone seen the US outside the US seen consistent success? This is actually a good comment because, from my point of view, I think people outside the US have more success than the people in the US. And I think that just really comes down to the culture and then the environment. I'll elaborate that in a little bit, but what do you think about this comment, Marcus?
Um, Funny enough, I actually asked this question like I think a few weeks ago, and to my surprise, like exactly what Trevor said, international students seem to just have more like drive, hunger. I don't know what it is, but the results speak for themselves, and we're just having more success rate, consistent success from people based outside of US, from what I've been seeing, which is very interesting.
Yeah, from the people I work with, I think the people that are outside the US, they're definitely more driven. It's like they position themselves into like this needs to work versus so
Yeah,
what if it will work. Not
yeah,
saying like anyone from the US won't succeed. It's just I think growing up in the US and having that environment where everything is provided for you already, like you have all the shelter, the you know food, the basic necessities, and you know you don't really have to have it succeed for you. Versus in other countries, not saying that's always going to be the case, but it's really just the environment and the and how you're grown up as a person. So Martin says, if you could go back in time and give your beginner self some high tech ecom advice to get ahead, overcome a problem you personally would face in your high tech ecom journey, what would it be, or what would that be? I'll go first. So for me, the biggest bottleneck when I was starting ecom was not getting suppliers or not getting enough suppliers fast enough. I think that really slowed my progression down because I had 10 suppliers in the store, and I just stopped closing suppliers for like months.
Really?
Now, yeah, and I was just like, why am I not making more sales? Like I'm stagnant. And then it's like after I started closing suppliers, like I went on a huge supplier closing spree. I closed 30 suppliers in 1 month. I had that month, it was in March of like 2023, I believe. Um, I pay like $6,000 in VA expenses for product uploading.
Holy crap.
I still broke even on the month, but I was going crazy with the suppliers and like just uploading them. So I don't think you have to go that crazy, but just aiming for 2 suppliers a week is a good benchmark. 2 suppliers a week into the ads account is what I would tell myself. How
Mm.
about you?
Um, I probably just tell myself two things. The first thing is make sure you have a good supplier. At the core root of it, if you have a good product, good offer, good supplier, everything else is going to help flow, meaning you have good margins, good shipping, good logistics, all of that. So just work your way and find a really good supplier, find suppliers, and then double down on the relationships with them. Because some of the things that made me stand out and help me climb my way up in my suppliers network was like I went to their trade shows, I met with the founders and the sales directors, and like they know me. There's a face to my name and they take care of me
Mm.
and I take care of them. So it's supplier building. And then me personally, recognizing your strength and weaknesses. I definitely notice now more. I have a strength with communicating. I think I'm good with like on the phone, closing suppliers, handling like that. But that also brings a weakness of organization. So building out the right systems. So I didn't know about Trello. I was using everything on Excel and yeah, and then I got introduced like Notion from Trevor. So using those project management tools with Slack to communicate, that plus having a supplier, boom. That's what I would tell myself. That's all I needed. That'd be good.
Yeah, that's solid. I
Thanks,
guess your
bro.
main weakness, if you can even call it that, was I guess just organization. And once you figure that out, then you're kind of set.
Well, only because of you, bro. Because for those that don't know, Trevor is so organized. Like people call me organized. Like people outside in my everyday life, they're like, look at me. I'm like a fucking neat freak and shit. But Trevor's on the next level. So when I met him, he made me feel so. I felt so annoyed because I was like, you're so much more organized than me. Like we have to find a file. I'm like, why is he faster? It irks me. But it's because he's more organized. So respect is paid when it's due. So kudos to you, Trev. You've leveled me up with organization. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, I think I'm like secretly OCD with like the organization because just love placing everything in like folders and just storing it away where like it's like within seconds away. I can use like Notion to find
That's
everything.
beautiful, bro. Honestly, I envy that. I asked you guys.
Oh, to add to the
Okay.
combo. Alex says, "How did you guys meet?"
He slid in my DMs.
Nah, you slid in my DMs. I'm kidding.
That's literally how
Um,
we met.
yeah, I'm not kidding. That's literally how it happened. I was on Instagram. I made a account just following like business people, and then I followed Marcus's account, and then he DM'd me. But before that, we met in like a Skype group on Google Ads.
You were in the Skype group. Did you ever ask questions? Sometimes, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing your name, and you're the only Asian guy in that group. So, like, your name stood out to me, like Trevor Zheng.
I didn't s- I didn't see you talk in the Skype group. I don't know how like I found you. I think I asked the mentor at the time if anyone was doing high ticket, and he said your name.
Oh,
So that's why I messaged you.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah. Martin says I asked you guys about the store last time. You told me to restart. Still adding a few things, but I got basic layout of it. Yes, if you could share your site again. Don't quite remember your site. Corey says, are you worried about the upcoming potential changes to US-China custom charges? Yeah, this is a good comment as well. I made a video about it a couple weeks ago. Basically, import tariffs coming from China to US will increase prices. That's not too big of a deal for us because we're using US-based suppliers, but I know US-based suppliers also source their products from China and other Asian countries like Indonesia, India, Vietnam, Thailand, places like that. So if the prices increase because of that, then the American USD prices will also increase in the products. So it kind of won't really impact like the business owners, but it'll impact the consumers because they'll be paying more.
I would say there might be less people that buy then. If let's say like we increase from like 6,800 to like 7,400 price, you might get a little less, maybe a little less than normal sale, maybe, you know?
Yeah, potentially. I guess if people make more money, it outweighs it
Yeah.
because of the economy. Comfort is a drug. Once you get used to it, it becomes addicting. Give a weak person consistent stimulation, good food, cheap entertainment, and they'll throw their ambitions right out the window. I would not agree anymore. Yeah, I agree with this. Like, comfort is a drug, and as long as you realize it, I think that's the biggest thing that you need to know. Like, yes, you can live a traditional life, and there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes I wish I was that way, but for me, I just knew there was something more because I'm still young, many years to live. I want more. Well, what? I don't want the next 50 years to be the same repeat of, you know, all the other previous years. Yeah. Appreciate the transparency from both of you guys. I too hate uploading products. Is it most tedious? Is the most tedious things? Who do you guys recommend to hire for uploading products, and how much should I be paying? So there's a few ways you can improve your product upload process. You can use StockSync. That's a Shopify app to help you bulk upload products. It doesn't work well with variants, so if there's variants, you probably don't want to use StockSync. In terms of like who to hire, you could hire anyone. I recommend hiring VAs from the Philippines on online jobs, Fiverr, or Upwork. And how much should you pay? It just depends on the task and how difficult it is. If it's just like adding the images in and publishing it, the easier it is, the cheaper it would be. So for me, let's just say I'm uploading 500 products, and all they have to do is do the images, the titles, description, and publish it. Then I would probably charge $75 to $100, honestly. Yeah. Matrixify isn't bad either. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of that, but never used it.
What's Matrixify?
Same
Sorry,
thing
new.
as StockSync.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Lupiro Beauty says, any recommended tutorials from your channel for trying to get conversions from our luxury beauty hair product brand? Yeah, I would recommend the Google Ads video. That's probably the most popular video on our channel on how to run Google Ads. If it's your own brand, then you're not gonna have brand demand. In that case, you want to, once you're watching the video, you understand more about it. But you want to be spending most of your budget on the high campaign. So I would recommend watching that video so you can learn Google Ads for your brand. So bromantic. Super cool, to be honest. Thank you. Grow Tech is the new website. Garage Saints was the old one. Okay, well, I pulled that up. Um, you can answer the next few
I
questions.
got you. Let me answer the next question. The next question is, what's your product testing strategy? Mass testing. Not necessarily product testing, but supplier testing, and then within the suppliers, you're gonna find the product that's going to be that winner for you, I'd say. And when you first start off, you want to test by going on the bottom of the funnel, right? So if you don't know, there's a top, middle, and bottom funnel where you could target specific intent keywords. So obviously, you would want to target the keywords that have the most purchase intent first, like Samsung TV 36-inch, and then move your way up. Okay. So that's how you kind of go about with testing the supplier. And then you can also target singular SKUs. But obviously, if they're searching for a specific product, a specific SKU, even if it has high purchase intent, it might not have enough search volume. So just keep that in mind. And now we have the website pulled up. Bro, the it's cut off on the homepage. You know? That
What
banner.
is
If you go
this?
back to that first banner. No, I'm sorry, not the homepage image. That first image was cut off. Forget it. Don't even
Oh
forget
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Can't see the T in Trader.
Exactly, like stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Besides those like minor mistakes, like I would make sure this is the same size. Like this is full width up here, and then this is compact. So make sure if you're going with compact, make sure the header right here is also compact. I mean, besides like these missing images for the collection pages, it's a much better start than last time. As long as this is niche down, you're gonna have a much realistic time reaching your goals than having garage saints and then selling saunas on there.
I remember now. I remember now. I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say this is much better. Description, I would make it full width. You might need a developer for that. Rest of the site is okay. It's like the button could be a little bit bigger. Make this all bolded. Remove this accelerate checkout button. And you just need a better way to consume this content. Like, I'm not reading this. This is so much jumbled text. You want to make
Huh.
sure it's, sentence by sentence, readable, digestible. Put the features on there if that will, or if there is any. Rest of the site looks okay by itself. It's just those minor mistakes. Yeah. Cool.
There's one more.
Uh,
We have Direct Mobility USA. Meanwhile, I'll talk about one other question that I'm seeing. Um, how do we work with niches that competitor offer installations? How do we work with niches? Yeah, I don't know what that means, bro. That doesn't even make sense. How do we work with niches that competitor? Let the competitors
installation.
install it.
Yeah.
The competitor offers installation.
Yeah, I would say call the competitor and act or pretend to be a customer and see what installation services that they use.
Suppliers should probably be helping, or you could be asking a
Yeah,
shipping company.
exactly. This is honestly a pretty good site. First impression,
Oh,
Direct
nice.
Mobility USA. I like the font up here. Products. This reminds me of
Comfy go.
recovery for athletes. Yeah, honestly, the site is good. No complaints. I would probably change this button color because it just kind of blends in with text. And I mean, for this niche, because it's older people, you can get away with this. The main thing is the button color. Make this clickable. Okay, it is. Make this clickable. It is. It's not clickable. And rest of the site, no complaints. I think you have a good site. Should be making sales with this.
I agree.
Yeah. So we're on our last few minutes. How much revenue are you lot doing per day? Depends. Some days it's 0. Some days it's up to 20K. So it ranges.
Trevor just got 4 orders there today.
Could you revisit your feedback?
Improving the search bar on the site.
Yeah, those are the feedback. Improve the search bar, making site accessible, refine the website. Okay. I think he's just writing down the feedback. The site is still new, so I'm still adding it. Okay, that's solid. So that's perfect timing because we just answered all the questions right on time. And this is the last question. I'll let you answer and wrap it up.
TikTok shop, not with high ticket. I don't see it working, no.
Yeah, it's pretty straight to the point. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas and happy holidays. It's going to be 2025 when we next are on the live, which is pretty crazy. Again, if you have any questions, hit us up in the DMs and the comment section. We'll do our best to answer each and every single one of them. And join our free school community so you can learn more about high-ticket e-com for free. And, join some of these lives because we love answering your questions. Good vibes, good times. That's it for now. We'll see you guys next week on Friday. Cheers.